Hi everyone, welcome on in to Girls Run These Worlds. We're back with the penultimate episode of Gently on the Wind. It is a magical girl setting using the Valor system, which is the D10 system. Very open, very wonderful. I will be the game master for tonight. I'm Papinus Prime or Jonathan. I use they them pronouns, and I am joined by an amazing cast, which makes this so easy to run. Katie, could you lead us off?
Yeah, I am Katie, she, her. I am playing Tina, and I am so excited to see what happens tonight.
Faye.
Oh, hi, I'm Faye. Also, she, her. Very excited to be here. Totally didn't just finish my character sheet.
Arnica.
I'm still muted. Hi, I'm Arnica. I was muted for like 30 seconds because I couldn't find my button. So glad to be back in my brand new setup on my brand new computer. Everything's so cute. Yay.
Nox.
Hi, Nox. I'm here. I forgot what we're pronouns. She, her. Character, Lucinda. Hotel, Trivago. Okay.
And lastly, Anna, who is also the producer for us today. Thank you so much for playing and producing Crazy.
Yes, of course. That's why my head's in my keyboard currently. Hi, I'm Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny most places on the internet. Korean Trans Advocate Z, recorded TTRPG streamer and podcaster. My pronouns are she, her, and I play Liliana Blackthorn. Do we still say colleges? I forget. She is part of the Swords Conquest. I forget what that house is called.
Blades of Conquest.
Back to you.
Okay, so we'll do a quick recap as to what happened 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks. I remember, right? There are the notes around here. So last time we left off, you had explored the town and ended up inside kind of this dilapidated, vacant home. After exploring, getting together, you managed to find a basement full of kind of strung up bodies, and sure enough, you fight a wraith. It was a tough fight. It was grueling, but you got through it. And at the end of that, you were met by Lilith, who was a kind of unknown presence there. Lilith was introduced later, after everything, as being Seraphina's sister. At the time, all you knew is that she was working with possibly the ringleader of everything that is going on here, with all these noxious plants and sleep roots and flora that deal with the shade, particularly. During which time Lilith engages Seraphina in battle, and with some quick thinking, the party launches off into a discordant time, giving them a little bit of safety from everything that happened, as almost like a parallel time. You're just out of sync. But resyncing back to the original time, you do find a weeping and kind of broken Seraphina amidst chaos, debris. You can imagine what happened out here in the basement between her and Lilith. Lilith being gone, Seraphina kind of broken that she couldn't hold her up. And at this point in time, with a very real moment, she says that she needs to talk to her mom, which it turns out to be the Queen. So, having teleported into the castle, Seraphina is now in front of the Queen, Amethyst Lux. Before Sarah starts talking with the Queen, what is everyone doing?
Staring, wide-eyed. Like, we're in the crystalline palace. of the queen, and we just kind of poofed here. So it's very much standing and looking around at everything. Not quite open mouth, but definitely wide eyed.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, when we left the other place, Tina had just like thrown up in a corner again. So I feel like she's just panically being like, oh God, like I need a breath mint. Like I am not prepared for this right now. Just trying to pull herself into some semblance of together.
You know what? From one of my very many pockets, I'm gonna dig around somewhere in here. I do have like a little sprig of mint. I've always got something with me, and I'm just gonna like behind my back just pass Tina some mint because she sure was throwing up in there.
Oh, you are a hero, truly. Shove that in her jaw.
I'd say Lucinda is just trying to keep it together because she's like, no, this happened like 3 times today. It's not happening again, not again. Like, she's just trying to keep it together because this is a very stressful and emotional time. She's like, I can't do this in front of the queen.
Liliana, I think, is still leaning on her staff, kind of worn out from pulling the entire group out of sync with this timeline. But is doing her best to stand very straight, trying to look very proper. She does come from a bit of money. I don't know if she's ever been in front of the queen before, but has been in these types of social situations, so is doing her best to carry herself.
Okay. Seraphina looks up to the queen and says, "Mother." And the queen responds back with a gesture, just a raised hand. "Sarah, I believe this can wait. All of you look exhausted. Please, Juan Carlo, could you show them to quarters so that they can sleep and freshen up? See that they're provided for." And Juan Carlo, this handsome-looking guard, kind of salutes very briskly and says, "Of course, at once, Your Majesty." And starts leading you down a hallway with a series of doors. There are individual rooms. They are like almost like penthouse suites. They're enormous, right? You get your own canopy bed, the works. There's like private bathrooms. It's like really fancy. And Juan Carlo, kind of after showing you the room, says, "Please go in, take your time. We will have food out for you shortly. If there's anything you need, please let me or one of the guards know, and we'll take care of it right away. Get some rest. There's going to be, I think, important matters that are talked about between the queen and her daughter tomorrow, possibly. Is there anything you need off the bat that I can get you?" Okay, very well then. I will see you tomorrow. Rest well. Rest easy. And he leaves. And you have a moment between yourselves to either retreat into your rooms and be solitary or kind of talk. There will be quite a bit of time before Sarah returns to you all to talk.
So Nora kind of throws open her bedroom door, looks in it, looks around. At this point, just it's being real nosy, goes and opens the next door to mine. I'm not sure whose it is. I'm just looking in all of them like, this is the nicest sudden house arrest I have ever been under. Also, I can't believe that we just killed a fucking wraith as students and they've put us under house arrest.
Have you been under house arrest before?
Okay, now It's only been a couple of times, and in my defense, it was worth it every time.
You need to write a book.
I think the first thing Abby is going to do is actually release the transformation. So her magical girl, everything disappears. She's back to the very clean, button-down skirt, khaki color, white shirt, all like the simple jewelry, save for one piece. But she's always had the bracelet that's got this bouquet of different flowers. But otherwise, she's in her normal self, and would stand close to Liliana, noticing the weariness.
Is this house arrest though? Like, I mean, if we went out a window, I don't think they could stop us.
Nora's gonna laugh and walk over to the door and go, if I open this right now, there's gonna be 2 dudes outside this door. Go lean out the window. There will be at least 1 dude outside this window. She wanted to move us fast so she could talk to Serafina. And they need to talk without us. And how do they talk without us talking to other people? You lock us in a very pretty room. Oh, we'll bring you some ice cream. Oh, go enjoy the bouncy bed. I'm sure you've never seen a bed so fancy. No, I haven't seen a bed so fancy, and I'm going to enjoy the shit out of it when I figure out why we're under house arrest.
Did nobody else miss the fact that they didn't even refer to Serafina as the princess?
Nope.
I noticed that. They definitely didn't want us there for whatever's going on. That's obvious. Whether or not we're actually under house arrest, I don't know, but they definitely didn't want us there.
Also, that means Serafina's mother ordered her to not use her full extent of her magic.
Is she like disowned?
Wouldn't you saw something, didn't you, Liliana? Also, are you okay? Because you were like, you like took us. I know you could do that, but like,
neither did I. I'm okay. Just tired, really. I saw glimpses of Serafina's timeline, just enough to know that they were sisters. I didn't really see this. I mean, this is a surprise to me as well.
Okay. Because here's the important question in the "Are we under house arrest? What's going on here?" thing. Is the mom team Serafina or team Lilith or team neither?
That is a very good question.
Yeah.
Because if Lilith's actions were sanctioned by the queen, we just entered a really dangerous situation.
Which I was trying to avoid.
If this is a dangerous situation, I think, and maybe this is the crazy in me, we should be close to it. Because someone needs to make the people aware. We need to figure out what is going on here to make sure that the people who shouldn't be getting hurt aren't.
Yeah, that sounds a little like something that can get us like executed or something if the queen's in on it.
That's why we need to figure it out. Instead of just rushing in, we need to figure...
I think for now, We need to wait, rest. That wasn't an easy fight.
There comes a time where you get a knock on the door, and it's the staff bringing in a series of carts. There's everything from purely vegetarian dishes to meats, poultry, and it's like a big selection of like pretty much anything you can think of that is like really really good. And once again, Juan Carlo will check in. Yeah, here is tonight's dinner. I think Sarah should be with you shortly, I believe. I hope that we haven't made you feel unwelcome or ignored. There's just a lot going on with secrecy. I'm sure you understand. If you travel with Sarah, I'm sure you understand, right? And he seems a little unsure.
Actually, if you could expand a bit on that. As you know, we travel with Sarah, and she's been keeping secrets.
The more you
Anything
travel
can-
with Sarah, the less is understood.
Yeah, like, should we start curtsying?
No, no. Sarah would not want that. Sarah refuses to use any royal titles, as she feels it best to be separated from family, unless dire circumstances or something would happen. But yeah, as far as I can tell you, with confidence, of course, I'm not the Queen's right hand, but Her Majesty confides in me to some degree. I'm sure that you are investigating the same number of leads that Sarah was investigating. I think this queen has stumbled on something big, and I haven't seen Her Majesty this distrustful in a long time.
When was the last time you saw her quite like this?
Well, that would be when...
Was it Lilith?
No. Lilith was a series of problems, yes. But Lilith was always different. She fell under the words of a masked being. I'm not sure who. As far as we know, their name, according to Lilith, is Desteros. The last time I saw the queen like this would be when she uncovered that her husband at the time was planning a series of assassination attempts on her life for rule of the crown. We don't speak about it.
Understandable.
Every kingdom, I think, that casts its light and peace and prosperity is always belied by a number of dirty underground secrets. But I hope that doesn't change your opinion of the Queen. Now, if there's anything that I can get you along with this meal, any other questions that I can answer to my ability?
Is the person who tried to assassinate the queen the same person that made Seraphina the way she is?
Sarah was born with tremendous amount of power. So much, in fact, that it seemed that she had no talent for magic at all. And it all came in one massive wave that just swept the entire household. As you can imagine, the royal family is away from from public eyes, but I think that the rift that split Sarah and Lilith apart because of that power. Well, I think it's best for the Queen or Sarah to tell you. And he'll bow, and he'll go to leave unless anyone stops him.
You know what? Actually, yeah, I'll stop him. I'll pull from my bag just an iced coffee and hand that as a tip because I don't think I have cash on me.
The old zebra stripe. What's this?
Thank you.
Oh, wow, that's very kind. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll enjoy this.
That was the most college student thing I've ever heard. Where it's like, I don't have money, but I have coffee. Would you like some?
Let me just tip you with whatever's in my pockets.
Yeah, that is the most college student.
It's got value. If the value is only to Abby, who knows? But it's value.
I love it.
Okay. So Juan Carlo leaves, and then eventually Sarah comes back. And she looks probably in worse shape than she did going in, which is pretty bad. Hi.
Just more and more secrets the longer we know you.
I'm sorry. I hope you can understand this one.
Lucinda's gonna curtsy. Sorry.
Please, Lucinda, you don't have to do that.
I don't know what I have to do. I don't know anything.
That's fair. Neither do I. I spoke to Mother about what's going on. There are a few people on the council that Mother trusts above others. It seems that she has been undergoing an investigation of sorts, and it seems a trade advisor noticed something peculiar. It was small at first, and I think almost missed it, but she has a great eye for detail. There has been a small, almost insignificant increase in the export of fertilizer. Specifically to one location. Can you guess?
I think we've got a good idea.
Mother said that the supply routes are going from the far port here, and they haven't had enough. They hadn't had any success currently tracking anything other than what's on the general ledgers. But this is where we come in. She suspects that a shipment, as things have been getting larger and larger lately, will be leaving tonight.
Is this still part of our training mission?
At this point, no. You have no reason to stay with me. This is a matter of the kingdom. But the school may be in danger.
I don't think Liliana says anything to that, but looks towards Abby to see Abby's reaction to this.
Abby has been leaning against either a wall or one of the posters on the bed, kind of arms crossed through everything. And at this point, stands up, loosens her just posture. I care about the academy. It's where I met some of the best people. And she looks over to first Liliana, and then Tina, and then to both Nora and Lucinda, and back to Seraphina. Not only do I care about the academy, I do care about this land. Enough so that when things started, my ideas and trajectory of my life began to shift. I want to help you. I want to see the end of this. I want to do right for the kingdom. And I think I want you to continue being my mentor for the rest of the semester. I want to be defender of the kingdom.
She looks at you. You see water in her eyes. And there's a sense of shock, and she's taken aback. Not because she didn't have faith in you all, but this is coming from a place of the stakes are so high right now that you don't owe anything to anyone. Abby, I would be honored.
Nora's sitting cross-legged on the back of the couch, so that her foot's in the seat and one leg is crossed up on the back with her. You know, standard queers don't know how furniture works. Seat position number 3. And she's got Punky. She's petting him. She's like, look, I'm not saying Abby's wrong, because Abby's right. Totally want to save the school. Totally want to save the world, the kingdom, and all that. But I asked for the best. I got the best. I'm not letting go of the best. Also, I may have a tendency to sometimes make things explode, and it might be awfully nice to have the crown thinking fondly of me. Won't lie.
Nora, thank you. I'm really just failing upwards, but I'll try my best.
I'm not going to let Abby do this alone, of course. That's why I'm in as well.
I mean, it's not like we have a lot of choice. about the matter. This is just what's happening now, I guess.
Lily, thank you. Tina, we always have a choice in everything that we do.
We never have a choice about anything that we do, and we don't have a choice about this either. So we're going.
So we're going. Lucinda, I would understand if this is too much. I wouldn't blame you.
You were supposed to be there. You told me you would be there. So how do I know that when this happens, you'll actually be there? I could have hurt them.
You're right. Here. She reaches out with her left hand and makes a cut across her palm. And then he starts using her blood to make a small ritual circle on her hand. It's a blood promise. You know that if I do not uphold this, well, I don't want to think about the consequences, actually. But I trust in you, and I failed you once. And as your mentor, that is just... As your friend, that is something that I can't do. So this is my answer to yours. I will do a blood promise.
Lucinda's just kind of looked at everyone else. That promise is the only reason I'm agreeing to this. And it doesn't fix anything.
Okay. You're right. It doesn't fix anything. I'll make up for it. So, now that everyone's in, let's go over what we know. And then we'll rest and head out. Down in the port, Mother has found the shipments are being attributed to a single airship going out, flying somewhere in the direction of the Academy, but never making to the Academy itself, which makes sense why the ledgers couldn't be traced in that direction. The ship is called the LaGrandia. Sources say that it is bound to leave tonight at some point during the early hours. The best we can do is search the port, figure it out. If we can sneak aboard the ship, that'd be great. This is going to be dangerous beyond reason. We don't know who we're up against, what we're up against. We know that they are well taken care of, in a position of power, and possibly under the gaze of very influential people. Secondly, about my sister.
Yeah, about your sister.
Lilith possesses similar magic to me, except in reverse, where I can manipulate the stars. She can invert gravity in a number of ways. Lilith is someone that should not be taken lightly, and I think is probably on par with the headmaster. And from what I understand, Lilith is a fraction of the strength of her patron, Destros.
If she can manipulate gravity, then my magic is probably near useless against her.
That's why we're a team. It's just something we'd have to do together.
If Lilith intervenes, I will intervene, and I don't think I can hold back anymore. But remember, I can't be allowed to go past my limits. And I hate to put this burden on all of you.
We'll watch out for you the same way we do Lucinda.
Thank you. So the plan here is to get on board that ship, see where it leads. Our best guess is that it drops off somewhere outside the limits of the school, and we don't know for what. Nora, there are a lot of... I think your specialty here will come in handy.
All right. So give me more. What do drops off a little past the school? We've got fertilizer coming in. We've got all the... I'm gonna be honest with you, Seraphina. I'm tired. And a wraith hit me in my head more than once. I am a little confused. I would love it. Do it like I'm Pumpkin. Explain it to Pumpkin. I just pick him up and I hold him up. I'm like, use small words for my pumpkin. Tell him to tell me what you want me to do, because we're confused and have head trauma.
I just can't believe that there's somebody that uses more fertilizer than Nora.
I mean, I would, they're either gonna make a really, really, really big, like, plant golem, or maybe some bombs, maybe a bomb golem. I wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying they could. I've definitely never made exploding tomatoes.
That sounds awesome.
You know, it was all the way until I got that third house arrest. Exploding tomatoes.
Seraphina laughs. Okay, Pumpkin. There are a lot of plants and things that I don't know about because I did not pay attention in herbology as I should have. That's on me. But there are a lot of mixtures here, which might go beyond me. However, if we find that there's anything that's too as rare or that serves a specific purpose, then please let us know, and then we can deal with it appropriately.
And I'm just looking at him, I'm like, yeah. And then I turn the pumpkin around, put him up to my ear like he's actually repeating. I'm like, got it. We got this. Serafina, would you like? And I'm just gonna pick up like a snack, and I'm just gonna like from the table, which I haven't touched. I haven't touched anything on the table. I pick it up and I hand it to her. I'm like, do you want some of this? They brought down so much food.
Yeah, let's sit down and eat. Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool. Cool. I'll definitely wait to see if she eats it though before I'm eating anything.
Lucinda's also waiting to make sure it's not like poisoned.
Like, I'm not assuming that it's poisoned so much as I assume they're just gonna treat us like children and get like children on a flight in the 80s when they used to give you Benadryl and Dimetap, because they let your parents do that kind of stuff to you in the 80s. The doctors didn't tell them how terrible it was. They were like, yeah, no, give them cold medicine, take them flying.
Just a little rum on the gums. It'll be
Right?
fine.
No, it's tequila.
I'm trying to make sure
I actually have a story about that, but I'm not going to tell it on stream. My grandma would kill me. I have a story about that.
I got the Jägermeister on the toothaches.
Oh.
So that was my introduction.
terrible.
One.
But on an herbalistic, bringing this back to the game and not the game at the same time, from an herbalistic standpoint, that one at least makes the most sense. Ugh. Anyway, so yeah, I'm a little bit paranoid. I just want to make sure they're not getting ready to make me take a nap, put the children to sleep so we can keep talking. So I'm just going to wait and see if she eats it. If she does, then I'm going to dig in because I'm starving. I fought a wraith.
She does. She digs in, she eats, and there's no signs of anything happening. She does look around. She's like, "Are you all gonna eat too?"
We'll eat, but Tina's kind of stabbing at the food with her fork just a little bit.
I would say that you guys would notice as Abby eats, it's weary. She's not seeming as like, it seems like the battle has really worn onto her even after the fact.
So, you all fought and defeated a wraith. It's kind of incredible.
Well, it was kind of necessary, or we'd be dead.
Yeah, I expected it to feel a lot better, but it's just been so overshadowed by everything.
Yeah.
I was possessed for like half of it.
Serafina looks down at her food and doesn't say a word.
Nox the player feels really bad, but Lucinda the character does not. Like, Nox the player is like, oh, poor Serafina, but also like,
Get her.
I want everyone to know that Nora is missing like 5 emotional undertones at this table. As soon as she realized that food was good, she has not looked up from her plate once. She's missing all the heavy eye contact, the stilted moment, the twitch on the face, the refusal to look up. I'm missing all of it. This salad is the best salad I've had in a hot minute. These tomatoes, so non-explosive, so fresh, like 5 colors. Like, me and Punky are just going in. Finally, I am going to look up just like a little piece of leaf out the corner of my mouth and just look at this table of sad sacks all picking at their food. It's going to be like,
Nora.
are you Okay, you know what? Everybody is not enjoying this food enough. This is a palace. Who is going to tell us no? Hold on. I'm going to go over the door. I'm going to throw it open. Surprise. 2 guards right outside the door. Trying to pretend like they're not right outside the door. I'll be like, you know what? Seraphina's had a real rough night. We're going to need a couple bottles of the really, really expensive, the real expensive wine that she likes. I know you know the one. Go get 2 of the bubbly ones and 2 of the flat ones. She's had a rough day. It's all for Seraphina. Go eat it quickly. And I'm just going to be like, thank you. And shut the door so they can be like, no, we're not going to go.
Nora, we have a mission tonight.
No, we have a mission later. We have a mission later. I've got something for us later because you see, we've been going for like 23 hours now. Her Majesty put us in a room with all sorts of beds. She intends for us to lay on them. I intend for us to lay on them. I intend for you to not fall over, trip on your own staff, stumble into the time stream 2 weeks ago, and then fall out of it 45 minutes later, more tired than you were now. We're going to drink and take a nap.
It's been at least a year since that's happened.
And that's why, because you're not allowed to wander around. You've got a girlfriend and she sees you and she goes all, oh, babe, let's go do this thing. Like nobody knows what she's doing except you. It's so cute. She's like, oh, babe, let's go do this thing. I need your help. And you're all like, yeah, no, I'll totally help you. We're all like, that is the best. Look at that. That is excellent. And then I go back to planting things in the dirt. Like even I can see it. Abby, why are you not doing the yeah, babe? Do the yeah, babe.
Yeah, Abby, do the yeah, babe.
Yeah, make the rest of us feel single.
I didn't realize that my relationship was on demand now.
This is kind of strange.
I think this is what friendship is. I think that's how friends work. Do your couple.
Do the yeah,
stuff.
babe.
Yeah. Go yeah, babe.
Yeah, babe.
Yeah, babe.
Or
Yeah,
don't.
babe.
Woo! I mean,
Liliana looks very uncomfortable.
You just see like Abby like looking really confused at everybody, and then just turns to, I'm sorry, I don't know what that was about. Over to Lil.
This is the same couple that has matching transformations and detransformations, and it's like, oh, look at us, we're so happy and together and like in tune with our emotions and love each other and all that stuff.
And yet I can't even get a yeah, babe.
Like, yeah,
we trained together from first year. Of course, our sequences are going to overlap.
Happened.
I mean, I don't have matchy sequences with anyone in the reliable Canes. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Nora and I are in the same house. We don't, I don't know how would that work. I don't know, but you don't see like me turning into a pumpkin and then exploding in magic or something. That would be so cool.
That would be good.
That would be really awesome.
Yeah, can we? Okay, that's not the point.
Together for a minute.
Like then Punky could come out of your pumpkin, and then Nora could like jump out of Punky.
Like a 3-tiered pumpkin cake.
Yeah.
Not the cake I was thinking about, but true.
Just under her breath, Abby to Liliana, I really shouldn't have encouraged this.
I think they need it.
You said we're friends. This is what you have to deal with. It's too late to return me, okay? I'm tearing up the receipt.
If a yeah, babe, every so often is how we can be friends, I'll submit.
I will lean over and kiss Abby on the cheek.
Ah, disgusting.
It's excellent. Punky starts knocking at the door.
There's a French fry that is thrown over at Tina.
And then Fifi's gonna swoop down and catch it in his mouth before it ever makes contact with me.
No, Fifi ate your fry. So, Jonathan, did they bring me my liquor as requested?
Can you
Or did they
roll?
bring me something else?
Can you roll me a d10?
I sure can. Let's find out.
Just a straight D10. Ooh.
I'm so curious how this turned into us roasting the couple.
It's not roasting. I was encouraging them. Y'all are roasting them. I got a 5.
Being friendly.
Be friendly. I've totally never done this to my actual friends.
The door opens abruptly. You hear a commotion outside, and in comes a very like a casual nightgown. It's nice, but nothing like flamboyant. The queen comes in holding 4 bottles of wine. So,
Try me.
I heard
Bet.
there was a party here. And she comes and sits down next to you. If one of you mentions your majesty, I will throw you out this window so quickly, so help me gods.
Abby just closes her mouth.
Yeah, you two are
Tina
definitely
really quickly
related.
slaps her hand over Lucinda's mouth.
Nora
When I
goes,
put the wine in, the words don't come out. Got it? Release.
Nora has sat cross-legged on the floor, but it's no longer quite the floor. There were some beautiful little plants over in the corner. So now I'm really just kind of sitting on a small little beautiful cushion of plants. And I'm like, all right, I'm with it. Let's go. Because this is, why not? Why not? This is, life blew way past ridiculous 3 days ago. 3 days ago, my life was fine and normal. And now this is absolute ridiculous. We are beyond the pall. Sure, I will call the queen boo tonight. I don't care. Sure, why not? We're pushing things tonight.
I think Tina's gonna say, "Okay, wait, we still need something. I'm gonna be back," because we went in one room with one bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tina is going to methodically and struggling drag all of the mattresses in from the other rooms into this one room, one by one.
I feel like as soon as the first one comes in,
Yeah.
Abby picks up on this, and like whether Tina asks or not, Abby just gets up to help.
I was say Lucinda's not even getting up. She's using magic about it.
Great.
Also
Just
grabbing all the like comforters and the pillows as well.
Oh, are we going full fort? Because if we're going full fort, then Nora's going to go ahead and pull a couple little seeds out of her mini pockets, throw down a little bit of dirt. You know what? I sweep it up. It's fine. I put down a little bit of dirt, and then all of a sudden vines start growing up and out around so that we can drape the blankets and stuff over. We're going to have a big, ridiculous fort. Fort.
I guess it's technically a fort inside a fort if you think about like historical castles.
Lucinda has no idea what you're doing. She's like, "Why? What are you? Why are you putting blankets over?"
We are making a fort. We are making a cocoon where we shall be safe to drink wine for at least the next couple hours.
I have no idea. There's no frame of reference for this.
Okay, I can tell you that this is true. Weirdly bad things cannot get inside a blanket fort. I don't know why, but it does work. Watch, come here. And I'm gonna take Lucinda by the hand, and I'm gonna like pull her over to a corner where we've managed to get a couple of them draped up. We've piled the pillows around in a nest just so the light's coming in just right from a couple little boop boop boop. Seraphina's made a couple of doot so that we can blow out the candles. We ain't got to take candles under the blanket. Terrible idea. Never do that. And so I'm like, okay, now look. And just know, Nox, that it's really cute. It's the light's coming in just right through these white sheets. It smells nice because this is royal laundry. So it's been like pressed with all sorts of herbs. The beds are super soft. These pillows are just right around you. Lucinda has never felt quite so cradled by expensive shit before. And then all her friends are coming in around her like, okay, now see, there's all this fort, but we're in not too close, but pretty close.
This is great. I wish Knox had a frame of reference for a blanket fort.
I guess Abby then kind of looks over to where the queen is. So, if there's not the forbidden phrase, 2 questions. What should we call you? And second, you know any good drinking games?
You can call me Amethyst. And do I know drinking games, child? She emphasizes that last word. I'm the queen.
We're going to be playing Ibble Dibble.
Again, Lucinda and Knox do not have the frame.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it sounds real funny.
Okay, so here's the thing. My sister made me watch The Frickin' Crown on Netflix. And apparently, whether or not it's true in real life, it's true in The Crown that when they gather at Balmoral to do their wintry thing, and they have their little party where they act drunk and they've been sipping on like this garbage meat. And you're like, now look, everybody in here is wearing 7 layers of tweed. You're all uncomfortable. It's a terrible Christmas party. They get drunk enough to play a game called Ibble Dibble, which is you have to play it with a whole bunch of other people. You have to remember your number. Everyone is assigned a number. And you go Ibble Dibble 1, calling Ibble Dibble 7, who would be Knox. Knox would go Ibble Dibble 7, calling, and then you have to pick someone else, and you can't pick someone who's already gone. And I believe you also have to remember the call numbers of the people behind you. Like, it's just one of those we build upon things until everyone's too drunk games. But I just always have equated it with, oh no, not a boring royal game. Even drunk, you're stuck up. That's terrible. So just know that that's what I'm imagining.
Amazing.
I mean, I'm amazed that there's a royal drinking game at all.
Netflix The Crown. Netflix baby. Sponsor us. Okay.
You see, there's like a moment of warmth as the queen reaches out and she like grabs Seraphina's hand in a reassuring way, kind of just rubbing her thumb against the back of her palm. So, here's the game. You drink until you're not. Last one standing wins.
Wait, until you're not?
I'll put a wager down. Last one standing gets 50 platinum.
Wait, no, sorry, go back. You drink until you're not? Like, are we going to cease to exist?
Well, no, you might pass out.
Oh, so you just drink until you're not drinking?
You drink until you're not able to drink, sweetheart.
Oh, okay. Thought this was like you drink until you just disappear from life, you know?
Nora has been pouring out of one of the bottles. She's gonna look at the cup that was Tina's, take and pour half of it out into her cup and give Tina a half cup. Obviously, Tina gonna be blitzed on half a cup. You know what? I think she thought we was gonna disappear. Girl, let's go. Set him up. Did I tell y'all Nora's a bad child? Because Nora's a bad child. She's a wonderful girl. Terrible child. Excellent. Pop, 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 pop. Drinks is out.
Well, to still being alive.
To still being alive. That's a good one. Let me ask you a question, each of you. Let's play a little word association. Okay? Now, I'm going to say, tell me the first thing that comes to your heads. When I say Forest, what do you think of?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms. Okay, good.
Lucille.
Lucille, the guardian spirit. Very good.
I was also going to say wolves.
I was gonna say hut.
Old.
Old, ancient. A nice little cottage by an ancient forest, surrounded by mushrooms, wild wolves running in the distance, the guardian spirit being there to envelop. So let's go there. I am the queen. She raises her hand, and as she does so, she thinks for a second and says, Liliana, brace yourself. And she twirls her hand, and the spatial distance inside this room grows out ever so big until you are legitimately inside a forest where you see no walls around you. It's just an immense expanse of space.
I'm clinging to Abby's arm.
Yeah, like as soon as like the whole brace yourself to Liliana, like Abby's hand goes like right out.
The spatial magic involved here almost messes with your sense of time and your grounding to the river, because you're creating, it's like the infinite space between two objects, and you're just multiplying that bigger and bigger and bigger. So it seems like if time should be stretching, but it's not. It's only the illusion.
Yeah, I think I stumble like a step when we get here. That was unpleasant.
You're very talented. I look forward to seeing your progress as you become a renowned magical girl. All of you, in fact, based off of what Sarah has told me, share incredible qualities and talents. And there is but one thing before we start the festivities here. Lucinda, if I may have a fraction of your time.
Oh god, she's gonna get executed. Okay. Lucinda's just like frozen, like turns to Tina and whispers, "If I don't come back, remember me."
Tina's gonna look at you dead serious and be like, "You're gonna come back."
I don't. I'm getting singled out. This isn't good. That's never good.
I promise you're gonna come back. Got that?
Okay, this is fine. She's just gonna go.
Okay, wherever Lucinda's being led off to, Tina is going to sneaky as possible try to just like not close enough to listen, but close enough to keep eyes on her.
I mean, are you being led off, or are you just being asked to come to the adult so that the adult with her bad knees and hips doesn't have to get up off the floor already sitting down? Consider you might not be executed. Her Majesty may just be freaking 40 and her knees and her hips hurt and she don't want to get up.
I mean, it sounded like a thing, and I was like,
if she panic, I'm panic.
Listen to panics at everything.
The queen will look at you and ask you, now, if I may have your consent, I would like to look at this being that you have inside you.
Like in front of everybody, because
You won't notice a thing.
I don't know if that's comforting or not. Sure. Why not?
Sarah says, What do you mean? Look at the being. And the queen says, "Hush, child. There are things that you may not know. I don't reveal all of my secrets. I'm the queen." And she places 2 fingers on your forehead, Lucinda. Now just relax. It'll be over before you know it. And she closes her eyes. And it's like 3 seconds of just looking at the queen, kind of like with her eyes closed, like touching Lucinda's forehead. Like nothing really there's no magic happening. There's nothing. There's no telltale signs that anything's happening. It's super awkward. And then she just comes back and says, "Okay, thank you."
Anytime.
The next time Malice comes out, well, we had a conversation of sorts.
Did you scare my demon?
It's not a demon. I can tell you precisely what it is, although it may not be comforting. So I'll leave it in you to decide.
There's very little that's happening that is comforting right now, so you might as well tell me.
She says, "Okay." She lifts her left hand to immediately silence Sarah. Before she even says anything, she just puts her finger out and she says, "You have one of the remnant offspring of Destros inside you. Destros is known as the Shadow Lord and has created several entities that have inhabited those with strong talents in certain areas. And unfortunately, it seems that one of them latched onto you."
Yeah, good good to know. Good to know. Okay. You know what? That is information. That sure is information that I now have. Why does it want me to sacrifice somebody then? I just realized none of the other characters know that.
I don't think we can hear because I assumed you stepped aside.
Oh, this is happening in front of everyone.
Oh,
Like legitimately
I
in front of it.
assumed that
You're all
hearing
at the
this.
table eating, like, yeah.
Leon
Or like
immediately looks
laying
up
down
at that.
respectfully.
Sacrificing someone?
I wasn't gonna do it.
No,
if that helps.
I have faith in you, Lucinda.
I also kind of didn't have anybody to sacrifice. That's not why. I mean,
But like, are there stipulations? Like, you have to be a virgin under the new moon.
I don't know. They never said anything about virgins or moons. The only way to get rid of Malice is to kind of shove them off onto the person I care about the most, which wasn't an issue for 4 years.
Oh, and Nora looks up and she's like, "Oh, see, I thought you had a demon infestation. This is actually better. It's like demons are ridiculously hard to get rid of. But this is
sacrifice is really hard to do, Nora.
Oh, I mean, like let's think about this sideways. Let's think about it around a corner. Like, what constitutes a person? Because you can't have Pumpkin, but a person doesn't have to be human. I could make you like a tomato.
And if it's just the one that you care about most, then like the tomato you care about most is a really easy bar to clear here.
Yeah, and like you won't have to do anything because I can absolutely make it explode in like a week. So if you can love a tomato really hard for a week.
Yeah, like it doesn't have, like the tomato doesn't have to reciprocate if it's
they
just who
did
you
say
care about
that
most.
it needs a soul.
And I'm assuming that there's no way to like just staple a soul to a tomato.
I don't think that's possible.
Well, soul's a matter of opinion, really. You know, just kind of petting Punky. What really qualifies a soul anyway?
Maybe if you really love a mosquito, like we put a mosquito in a cup. You just have to, like, the mosquito doesn't have to reciprocate. You just love that mosquito.
Okay, let's consider my cat doesn't count. I did not try to sacrifice my cat, but if my cat doesn't count,
Well,
I'm
how do you
assuming a
know
mosquito
it doesn't
doesn't count
if you didn't try it?
I wasn't gonna try it.
The mosquito could work then.
The mosquito will not work, okay? The mosquito does not work, okay?
I mean, that's fair. We like you. You are our friend. You're our friend with a soul tapeworm. We just want to remove it. You heard that, right? And I'm looking you dead in the eye, but I'm obviously not talking to you. I'm talking through you. Ew. Tapeworm. Go away. Go away. I have been drinking the whole.
You know, it's times like this that I'm starting to consider it. She just takes a drink. It was fine for 4 years. 4 years. 4 years. It was fine.
Well, then what's changed?
We don't have time to unpack that baggage. So, hey, Abby, Lily, do some cute shit so I would have to deal with this.
We're supposed to do a drinking game, right?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
You can realize, again, our relationship being on demand.
Yeah, babe.
As we start this drinking game, I would like to subtly use my magic to turn the wine back to its non-alcoholic form before it ferments, so that I can try and win this game.
I want to also be using my magic to, instead of doing like to burn out some of the alcohol content. So just like I'm drinking like mulled wine instead, so it's all warm.
Tina sneakily, like if her finger was a little faucet, just like sticking her finger in the wine a little and watering it down.
We're all
Lucinda's not doing anything. She's just like, nope, I don't want to deal with any of this.
Nora's pouring doubles.
Also, what was the queen going to say?
Just they had a conversation. She's like,
yeah, she was just like, the next time Alice, and then it started turning into group therapy.
Yeah, she said, the next time Malice rises up again, next time Alice says something, just know that we had a little conversation. And she says it in a very matter-of-fact tone.
so
As
just
if
Malice to sit his ass down.
Yeah, this bitch ain't acting up.
Seraphina,
And
your
she
mom
just,
is so cool.
Turns to start drinking. Sarah says, "Oh God, yeah."
The awkwardness of that gets me. For the rest of the night, the queen will just be Sarah's mom. Mrs. Sarah's mom. No. I'm a young magical girl. with all my teenage bullshit. That's hilarious. They're both just gonna make a inverted Kermit the Frog face every time I look right at him. Mrs. Sarah's mom. Great. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's party. Let's have some fun.
So, to being in a woods that is also a room.
What rooms?
It's not dying tonight.
Not tonight.
Did you have to specify tonight?
Hopefully not dying
tonight
tomorrow.
Is the mission. The mission is tonight.
In general, you don't have to when you add a qualifier.
We all die in the end. That's how time flows.
Do you die in the end, though? Because you can undo the time.
Yo, can you do necromancy?
Yeah, can you...
Have we tried that? Can we find a... Nope,
I
that
have-
would be unethical.
I have not tried
teamwork. And
Teamwork!
Teamwork.
Teamwork.
Lucinda's been hanging out with Nora a little too long. She was about to be like, let's try that.
Necromancy in the woods. Forget the mission.
Nora's like, no. Necromancy. That said, she's getting distracted. She's starting to make these mushrooms get real big. Just because she can. How big can she get them? Let's find out. They probably won't explode. It's fine.
But no, I've never been able to pull anybody completely out of time aside from myself until I pulled all of us out of time earlier
So
today.
necromancy is on the table.
I don't know.
I think that even though we're reaching towards the end of graduation, we still have things to learn about ourselves and our capabilities.
That's fair.
Like Tina, who has to learn that she can say no.
Oh, yeah, Tina was already starting to lose it a bit earlier, and we've been drinking now. So Tina's starting to say some of the quiet parts out loud here. And she's like, oh, I need to learn how to say no. I'm sorry, who was the first one who was all, yeah, Serafina, we'll join your mission that's like not even a real choice. Who was the first one? I know, it was you.
Because it's a choice that I'm making.
It's not a choice. None of us have choices. These aren't choices.
This is totally a choice. I'm drinking down like
it's 100% a choice.
No, sorry. What was the choice? The choice was do this mission, or we leave you here to do what, or you go back to the school in disgrace to do what? It was an ultimatum. It was a do this or do. No one ever has choices. Okay. Life is a river. Life is a river, and you're on it, and it starts, and it just goes one thing to the next. Okay.
What do you do when you like somebody?
Grade 2 goes to grade 3. Like, it just goes on and on and on, and there's no choices. They're just ultimatums. They're just forks in the river. You do this or you do the unknown nothing, and you just get thrown into the ocean where there's no defined path. The only path we had was this one, and it wasn't a choice, and it sucks, and I don't want to be here.
Genuinely wondering what you do when you have a crush on somebody, because I feel like that.
What do I do when I have a crush? I do this, and she's gonna lean forward and kiss you. That's what I do. I do that.
Tina,
Boom.
you made a choice.
Yeah, Nora's like, that was definitely a choice. She had been reaching to take your drink away. She instead refills her cup and puts it back. So that was hilarious.
I mean,
this is great.
Yeah, I made a choice. I did, and I think Tina's realizing that this is, other than putting Fifi in a bubble, this is probably the only thing she has ever done in her life that was fully unprompted by anyone else's expectations, requests, desires, any of that. And she's like, yeah, I made a choice and I'm gonna make it again. And she's gonna lean forward and then she's gonna stop and be like, if you're cool with that.
And Nora's just gonna look right at you, Lucinda, and be like, yeah, babe.
Shut up, Nora.
I think everybody is looking at Lucinda right now.
Sorry, Nox is trying to stop laughing because we talked about that, but that came out so much funnier than I ever thought it would.
I talked about it, I thought it was going to be so dramatic, but
yeah, it was just...
This is perfect. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this was perfect. God, I love these two. Lucinda's just... Lucinda didn't de-transform, so she's bright red, literally. Everything is just bright red.
And all of Tina's bravado is starting to drip off like sweat. If you were cool with that?
Yeah,
That's not a yeah, babe.
I'm not calling you babe, but yeah.
Okay, Tina does it again. And it's not, I have to be clear here, these are not good kisses, because one, Tina's drunk, two, she's overexcited and tired. She is just rushing in like a wave, crashing into you, and then retreating. It is more forehead and chin than it is any amount of good kissing. But
No.
Tina's excited about it.
I'm a little worried now that you don't think you have a choice in this, and I want to clarify that you totally had a choice.
This was my choice, but also I was worried that maybe it wasn't your choice. Like I took that from you, and then
no, I'm 100% down for this. I'm just
good.
like wanting to make sure that you're like,
yeah, no. If you're like, do you want to hold my hand?
Sure.
Okay, they're just gonna sit there and hold hands.
Were we this bad when we first started?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Okay.
Totally were. It was hilarious. I remember the time Abby walked into that wall in like grade 2, missed the door, 3 whole inches.
How were you even in? Were you breaking curfew?
I'm always.
Are you surprised?
I go to bed when I want to go to bed. I don't even live in my dorm. Have I never shown you where I live, Abby? I live in the remains of a greenhouse. I don't even go to my room. I haven't gone to my room in 3 years.
You really
Okay,
should. They're really nice rooms.
Please don't talk about how I would walk into walls.
No,
I don't think
wanna
I
hear
told
more
Lil
about
that.
this. No, you do.
I mean, walking into walls is better than the time that you walked into the ditch.
You walked into a ditch.
I just turn and look at
flood
Abby.
the ditch to get you out of it. It was a whole thing.
Sure.
I got distracted. You're very pretty, Lil.
I mean, didn't Liliana like disappear or something? Literally.
She does, and I would worry. I still kind of do, but it's better now because you're more experienced. But I don't want you to leave me here.
Yeah, let's not make fun of them anymore. That got sad.
Sorry,
I'll lay my head over an Abby.
I just want to make sure you're okay, but like you got really sad. Like, bestie, are you good?
I don't drink alcohol very often. I'm usually on caffeine.
Do I.
I don't even know if I ever drank alcohol before, but this stuff is good.
Tina, can
Maybe
you water
we
it?
should
Tina,
stop.
water it down. Tina, drink water.
And Nora's laughing. She's like, Tina has been watering it down. She acts like nobody saw.
Lucinda's barely drank anything, so she's completely.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I'm
drinking grape juice.
yeah.
Like Lucinda's not even drinking. She's just like.
Abby's had one, maybe 2 cups, and it's like the mulled wine, and like trying to burn off, and it's slow. Like she's not like chugging it or anything. So
Nora's trying to win that money. Every so often she just looks over
Yeah.
Mrs. Sarah's mom and just takes another shot, just another slug. And this lady's like, bless, you gonna be asleep in a minute. She takes her.
You ever wonder what the GM has planned and then how much we derail it?
I know the answer to that. I should know better, Anjet.
What do Fifi and Hazelnut do when you hold hands?
What do you do? What do you do? Nut just stands like a meerkat.
Oh, Karen, she makes that.
And starts chirping. She just
What
goes
is-
like,
I think Fifi is swimming like a heart pattern above Lucinda's head.
And what if that's why Nuts on her feet is trying to catch Fifi?
Oh, that's so cute. I can't. I love it.
oh, I love this so much.
That's so cute. At this point, the queen says, "Is the room starting to spin for anyone?" If
Oh,
you
girl, this
all-
room been
if you all
spinning.
look around, the trees are just whirling. You're
Oh.
just spinning in place. It feels like you're in that like Twister ride from the fair.
Nora, is this you?
Nah, this is her. I'm
meant,
still
like-
good, and I'm gonna stand up. I'm a little bit wobbly, but I'm on my feet, and she's still sitting. And I'm gonna take one shot and be like, "Your trees are wobbly. My
So-
pumpkin is solid. I think I win." That seems like perfectly good logic to me. Just so everyone is aware, my pumpkin is still solid. Her trees are wobbly. Surely that means I win.
You mean
Just-
like the literal spinning and not just the butterflies and the alcohol encouraging each other?
No, it's definitely
Butterflies.
spinning.
You know, the butterflies.
It's
Yeah.
spinning, hun.
She looks around. Trees are perfectly still. Are you sure they're spinning?
They're spinning to me. It's kind of starting to get a little motion sick.
They're spinning.
I'm just gonna look at Pumpkin and be like, Pumpkin, we checked the food. We didn't check the drinks, Pumpkin.
Could you all roll me a resolve, please?
Did she know?
Is this a resolve defense or just straight resolve?
Just straight resolve.
So I turned back time on mine to turn them way back before they were even fermented.
It's
Oh,
still-
that's true.
It's still
It's
spinning
still-
for you, even if you're sober.
I got a 10.
All right, so
too
it's
have a 10.
1d10 plus our resolve because I
yeah.
hate roll 20.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That rolled bad.
Also a 10 with
That's
my really
a
high
9.
resolve.
9. Okay, so 5, 10, 10, 9. 10, 10, 10, 9. Yeah, all of you are under the impression that, like, somehow you're all pretty drunk. It doesn't make sense that the room is spinning like as it should, and it starts wobbling to your own individual movements. When you try to slow it down, like you try to spin your head along with it, it shifts and shapes and it distorts your vision. She's like, huh, curious. Everything seems perfectly fine.
Can I do something?
Sure.
Can I try and nullify the effect?
Yes, you can attempt.
All right. I want to do this. I'm going to try it on myself first to see if this works. Because if it does, I want to be ready to do a shield. So I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll an aura just because I feel better about that. It's the same, but the vibes. It's a 9 against it.
You feel your magic collapse under nothing. You're trying to reach out for a tether and you cannot find one. This is impressive magic.
Something's here.
Can I try something? So Lucinda's magic's all emotion based. I don't think she's ever tried before. Can she try to sense how the queen is feeling in this moment?
Yeah. Yep.
All
You
right.
can go ahead and give me your choice of either mind intuition or spirit aura.
Spirit aura. All right. Nope. That was a 6.
Okay. The queen starts laughing and then the room just comes to a stop and everything's just back to normal. I'm only kidding. I'm sorry. I'm just messing with you. Oh, it's been a while since I've gotten to be light, and given the circumstances, you'd understand. Don't worry. I'll give all of you the 50 platinum. You all deserve it and so much more. Thank you for sticking with my daughter here, as hard-headed as she may be. Mom, hush, Sarah. This is a very important mission to undertake. I want you to know. She says, one moment. And she focuses, and you feel the magic. There's something in the room, even though it's very expensive, there's something in the room that kind of clutters you in and holds you close, as if there's a blanket effect around all of you. Protections. Sarah, I've never told you, but I think you should know, and you have a right to know. Desteros is exactly who you think it is. It is Regalius, my late husband, your father. And that is where we're going to go ahead and take a nice little 15-minute break to recoup stress. We're going to go use a bio break. So quick reminder for everyone out there, please hydrate, eat if you haven't, take your meds, make sure to stretch. We're going to go ahead, take a little break here. Well, once again, we're using the Valor system. Thank you for putting it in chat. Check that out. It's such an incredible system. But we'll be back in about 15 minutes, and we'll see you soon. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We're back. We're going to jump right into the action here. Your father. Sarah says, what? Regalius mixed with the shade became something entirely different. It's my fault entirely. I found out their little schemes, and, well, I did not hold back. And so, long story short, the reason that Lilith is so attached to Destros is because she knows. And Destros has fed her consistent lies that he is not her father. And hence why she is so different in magical ability from the family. Truth is, magic is barely understood. We work within the confines of what we know, and we go from there. But a young mind is so easy to shape. So there's a long and short of it. Sorry. I'm sorry. To all of you, you don't have anything in this matter. You have no stake in this matter other than, well, potentially your livelihoods, but even then, I think that you're all strong and resilient.
I don't agree that we don't have stakes here.
Sure, everyone has some stakes in anything.
Yeah. My friend just found out that her dad is mixed with the shade. I feel like that's a pretty big stake. She can't use her full abilities, so obviously she can't be asked to do this alone. I don't think that we're just here as byproducts. I think we all agree, there was a choice. Most people from the outside don't see things that we're seeing right now. We have enough information to decide, and I think we did. Of course, if anything's now too big for any of us here, we talk. But there's no single person with stakes on the line here. We're together. We're a team.
The queen stands up and holds her hands together and kind of looks at each of you. I was right to come here, to place myself in your trust, and vice versa, even if I may have forced it upon you. You have my admiration, you have my respect, and more than anything, you have my gratitude. She then reaches for the final bottle that is unopened. Here. Drink this. It's One of its kind. Seraphina takes a look at the bottle and she says, Mother, this isn't what I think. Shh. Drink. You have an important task ahead of you, and there's no guarantee that anything won't happen in the worst way. But this is Aquavita. Yes, it is. So drink. If you choose to partake, although the queen would be very insistent that you are, this drink will bring you up to full completely. It is a singular event.
Yeah. Abby drinks.
I just imagine Abby chugging it like an energy drink.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Hey, well, the good news is I don't need to drink it because Abby took all my damage for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of us are fine, but there's enough peer pressure here that Tina's gonna drink.
I'm healed because of Abby, but I am very low on stamina.
That's really where I'm
yeah.
at, is I need stamina. I also need health, but I need stamina.
I will also drink.
Nothing cost me any stamina.
Drink it anyway, it's delicious.
Yeah, she'll drink it and be like, refreshing, not Dr. Pepper. Interesting.
Wow. You all feel refreshed and just you feel like you've slept for 5 days. Like it is just wild, but you're like light and airy and like ready to go, ready to get the day done.
That's different from my usual binges.
Yeah, it doesn't leave me nearly as jittery as what you usually give me.
It works.
Nora just kind of straightens her dress. I told y'all drinking was a great idea. Oh no, we're so quiet and dressed and sober. It must be adventuring time again. I didn't even get
What happens if you water Punky with some of this?
I absolutely shake the mostly empty bottle, like 2 drops fall out on Punky. What does happen?
Just
Glad you asked.
Buff.
Wait, was there actually something that happened?
Let's roll a D10 for it, actually.
That's hilarious. Let's go ahead.
We're going to roll on a table here.
I was joking.
Punky gets one size category larger permanently.
7.
Okay. I'll go ahead and send a whisper your way.
We got a whisper? It's 2 whispers this game.
The secrets are abound.
What happens
And
if
I mean,
I water my cat? Give it to my cat.
Technically, there's more whispers when you talk about the whispers between players.
Yes. Actually, I do want to do that. I want Lucinda to give some to Hazelnut.
Hazelnut, you've been through a lot here. Have some.
I can't find it. Where did you message me at?
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm writing.
The whispers have been lost to the
I'm DMing
wind.
you on Discord.
Okay.
I have to write the whisper.
Pumpkin stole it. They're sentient now.
He's hungry.
You see, first you have to type up the whisper, then print it, then put it into the fax machine, then it goes through the phone lines, then it arrives at the other side and is printed out.
Y'all don't understand. I was looking. I'm like, I know where whispers come up in Zoom. Let me find the right window real quick. None of these say whisper.
Also not in Zoom.
just shows what kind of week it's been.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Wait, are there whispers in VDO?
Nah, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
there's a chat. I don't know if it's a
There's
whisper
just
system.
a chat.
Everything's a whisper when you can't tell who's talking.
Is it a careless whisper?
Was that a pun? Can I award the GM?
Yes.
Now I'm
Does
gonna
it
have
just go to Seraphina?
all night. Let's do this.
Wait, genuinely, can I give some to the cat?
There is a way that you can give your valor to another player. I was looking at that. I didn't take it, but it exists.
Good to know.
So the queen would stand up and say, when you're ready, head to the port. It'll be on the far side of the port. I think around Pier 7 or 8. Is there any questions?
Yeah, do we continue calling you Amethyst after this, or only when you're in your nightgown?
It's a good question. You've got a good head on your shoulders. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Alright, I wait just as good till she's almost done. I'm like, good night, Mrs. Sarah's mom. I give her a curtsy when I do it. She's not drinking. She laid down the rules. I followed them strictly into the letter.
Nora's the definition of delicious compliance.
Good luck and good evening. And remember, Mrs. Sarah's mom does have it going on. She just leaves. And she just leaves.
Yes! Clip that. Someone clip that, please. I'm begging you. Please. Please.
I really want her to be my boss.
I want her to adopt me.
In a way. Oh. So you guys gather your belongings, get everything together, get your kind of situated as to what you have to do, and you head out to the docks. By this time, it's around 1-2 o'clock in the morning. There's a fog coming in, and you do see a singular ship. It looks different. It could be an airship, you're not sure. But there is definitely a lot of movement going in and out and putting cargo on the ship itself. So we'll start the meter here at 0, and we'll enter our first stealth section.
Ooh, a stealth section. All right, stealth. What's the plan, folks?
I do just want to put out there, I don't know if it needs to come out now, but I'm going to anyway. As part of my level up, I did get danger sense, so I'm immune to the effects of surprise during ambush.
I also have that.
I'm picturing us rolling up to the docks, but like it's Scooby-Doo, like when they're all in a line and like creep tiptoeing. Like that's what I'm picturing us approaching this ship.
I'm assuming.
I also did not retransform. I'm still detransformed.
So I was wondering.
Everyone
Transform.
be detransformed. You'd be back to your regular cells, and you would just be, stalking in the fog.
I'm in a bright white dress and neon petticoats. Like, I am so not sneaky.
I'm in a bright yellow dress and scarf. It was actually better for me to stay transformed.
My clothes are also quite light in color, though definitely not as intense.
I feel like maybe we maybe we should transform back before we get too close.
Oh, but that's going to draw so much attention. We're already down to the docks.
That's true.
We have flashes of light and fire and rumblings of earth.
I feel
Whole
like
new problem to the magical girl genre that the animes did not prepare us for.
I feel like Lucinda's isn't noisy, and it's very much like the color is based off of her emotions, and so it wouldn't be bright in this case. Can Lucinda transform? Because hers is probably the stealthiest transformation.
If you like, you could say that you changed into appropriate outfits at the castle. I'm sure they would have had different types.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question about this because you said it looks kind of like an airship. Like, is this on water or are these dry docks?
It's on water.
On water. Okay. I think question number one is: Are we trying to get on to the ship? Are we trying to get everybody onto the ship? What is our goal here?
So the goal here would be to investigate the ship, whether that's getting on, looking at the cargo going in. You know that it's going to leave toward the school. So one of your options would be to get on, sneak on and see where the drop-off is and kind of make your way through there to investigate that way. Your second option here would be to commandeer the ship and still go in that direction, or kind of just take control of the situation.
I think Lucinda's gonna look at Abby and just be like, "So what's the plan?"
Well, we need to know where the ship is going. We know that it heads towards the school, but we don't know where it stops. It's never reached the academy. I think it would be the smartest play here would not to be causing a scene until after it lands.
Do you really think we'd be able to sneak on, though? We're not the quietest group. I say, knowing we all dumped agility.
I did not. That is mine. Very agile. I am literally water.
Everybody but Tina dumped agility.
Everybody but Tina was like, "Haha, we don't need this."
Okay. Well, the thing is, it's on. Okay. I'm picturing a pirate ship. Am I picturing this wrong? Like, is there a deck? Like, what am I looking at?
So there's the long piers are kind of spread out, and then on this side there is this long ship. What I mean by airship is that it could be magically made to just fly. Otherwise, it could also just sail on the water with normal sails.
So it's like a treasure pirate situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Treasure pirate.
Treasure-
That was the
Treasure Island?
Treasure
Planet.
Treasure Planet.
Yeah, Treasure Planet.
This is like my favorite movie.
Yeah. I was thinking there was it's the second Peter Pan where they have the ship that flies through London.
Or the Neil Gaiman Stardust where they're like collecting lightning.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite movies, but also the live action Peter Pan when they're taking her home.
So we have many references.
Lots of
references. Well, I could do something risky.
Okay.
You know that that's typically how I do things.
What? Though.
Draw attention away from where we'd be getting on.
Okay. So
we're in the docks.
Distraction. There's also the lie through our teeth and try to get on the ship. Or there's option 3, which is come from below.
Nora's like, or there's option 4. You look over and she's been prying at one of these crates on the far back side of all the stuff. She's like, we could go in as cargo.
Also an option. Anybody got bets on what'll work best?
I mean, cargo, maybe?
We get in
Cargo, I think.
back, we end up on top in the front.
Cargo, I think, is our best option.
If we
But
go
I can
in
be
as
ready
cargo.
to cause some sort of distraction if things get rough.
Do
I'm
you
going to be in the crate with you, so it'll be both of us causing the distraction.
say, Abby? Do we want a loud distraction, or do we want like? I can do the like we're at water. I can make the water make shapes.
I was going for, and you see the flames kind of around her fingertips, the smaller form. Docks have lamps,
Fair.
lanterns.
Please don't set the ship we're on fire.
It wasn't going to be our ship.
Our ship. You're gonna.
Mutiny.
As someone who has another character pack bonded to a ship after one ride, I wouldn't put it past me.
Every time.
No, that's just Murderbot.
I'm just so happy. Like I'm just like I just need to know more every time Faye says something new about one of her characters.
But no, it wasn't going to be our ship, as you know, the fact that we will be on said ship, why I refer to it that way, will hopefully draw it away. That's the plan. Eyes off, so.
Nora is still prying at the cover. She's like, I am not wasting my royal favor that I'm saving for a decent explosion on accidentally burning down a supply dock.
I mean, we could just blame Abby.
I mean,
If
yes,
things go well, I'd be working it off, so.
I have to agree with Nora. I think hiding in the cargo may be our best bet to stay unseen.
Yeah.
Last question, just because I want to make sure we've got a good plan here. Do we want everybody, like, what if something goes wrong with the cargo? What if the cargo goes somewhere different? What if all the box, like, do we want everyone in the cargo, or do we want someone to make sure the boxes get on and then jump on after?
If you think you can stay hidden, it wouldn't be bad to have eyes on us because we won't be able to see anything.
I can.
Who said that?
Seraphina.
Seraphina.
Oh god, I forgot she was with us. I was so sorry.
We're not
Hi,
used to
still
it. That's
here.
why.
She's like, I can. I can get myself on the ship.
Okay.
I want to make a comment, but I know it would probably make you uncomfortable, so I will refrain.
Well, now I want to know, but you know what? It's
All right, so into the boxes, I guess.
Can I find a box that's not hard to pry open?
Yeah.
Okay.
There are some bigger crates towards the back. Where they're taking the main cargo is a huge like warehouse. It almost looks like an airplane hangar of sorts. There are stacks and stacks and stacks of cargo that they're bringing in. However, you don't even need to roll here because a lot of this is fertilizer and manure.
Ew.
Smile.
Seeing this, what I want to do is just a small like flame to just like basically bake everything, so it's not like we're gonna sink into it.
Why don't you, let me see, give me a... Give me an intuition roll.
Okay, yeah. It's a 13.
Really good. Okay, so you notice that the boxes that they are ferrying onto the ship have the identical red sticker on them. It has some sort of rune that signifies like a great house or something, maybe a family name or a crest. But each of the boxes has this sticker on them in different places. But it kind of catches your eye even through the fog. You can just tell the like small vermilion pieces of paper on there. So if you find a similar crate, or if you find an empty crate and you can stick that paper on, you might be able to get on the cargo.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely going to then take the paper. Like as I'm going for that, the flames die down, and I take the paper off, and I'm going to go in search of a empty crate.
Okay.
One large enough for
everybody. Easy enough. There's some pretty big crates in the back.
All right, guys, let's get comfortable.
You guys all get in a crate. You shut yourselves in. You wait a number of minutes, but eventually you feel the entire crate lifted up. From what you can tell from like little cracks here and there, there are kind of golems that are doing like the heavy lifting between getting the big cargo boxes and putting them into the ship itself. You hear some muffled conversation here and there, but nothing that really catches your eye, nothing that is of import. A lot of small talk and just, getting the work done. But you do make out that there are a couple of workers that are kind of really relieved that it's like, this is the final shipment. It's been 4 years since I've seen my family. It's been hard, it's been hard work, but we're getting it done. It's like, yeah, we're almost done. We just got a little more boxes, then we'll be paid and we'll be released. It'll be fine. Eventually, you get, from what you make out, is into the hull of the ship. It's dark here. It's damp. More than anything, it's not quiet. There are a number of vibrating and slithering sounds coming across the hull from various crates.
So you're saying it's loud enough that we could whisper to each other and it not make a difference?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My God, your elbow is in my side.
We just got shifted around.
Well, can you move over?
Like, you kiss the girl you like, and now you think that you're hot shit or something.
Yeah, well, you would know about that.
Lucinda's gonna look out where she thinks Liliana is and go, I still don't know if they're friends or not.
It's really difficult to tell.
Right? Like,
are we there yet, do you think?
We just got on.
The question is, do we get out just before? Do we get out once we've landed? What is our plan now?
Am I able to peek out and see if there's any sort of silhouettes of bodies in the room that we are in?
Yeah. Yeah, do you want to roll me an observation again? So it'll be your choice of intuition or resolve.
Let's do both the same. Let's just do intuition again. On 11.
All right. So there are no bodies around here. You do see various plants that are brought in. There's a couple of cages with animals that you've never seen before. There are lots of just boxes here, unlabeled boxes, outside of them having the crest for the cargo. And other than that, there are various boxes with air holes that have also just sounds emanating from them. So they could be holding either live cargo or just something that is moving or vibrating.
All right, I think we'll be able to get out of the box for now and maybe get a better idea of what to do. And Abby will climb out.
Yeah. Follow.
Yep, I will follow
Yeah.
as well.
Following.
Okay. All of you are in the hull of the ship, specifically in the hold. It is dark down here. There is barely any light from what you can tell. It's not enough that like dark vision is a thing, but it's pretty hard to make out. It takes a while for your vision to kind of adjust. But for all intent and purposes, you're down here alone.
We should see if there's maybe a place to hide down here so we don't have to get back in the crate.
Hey, while you're talking, Tina wants to press her eye to the live cargo crates and see what's in there.
You're gonna get poked in your eye.
Yeah, that's
The cages or the ones with the holes in them?
Which one can I see into easiest?
The cages are pretty big.
All right, let's start with looking in the cages then.
So how close do you get to the cage?
oh god.
First question, is Fifi worried about anything in here who can sense malice? Like evil intent?
No.
No. Okay, in that case, pretty close.
Animals don't have to be evil to pull your arm off and beat you with it.
Well, I'm not going to stick my hand
Yeah,
in
sharks aren't evil creatures, but
there. And the shark can jump on the cage and I'd still be fine.
So you go to a cage that there's no sound coming from. It's pretty dark in it from what you can tell. You get up close and you kind of like are looking around to see what's inside. It's kind of towards a corner. And then you feel this hot breath wash over you and just heavy breathing. And then as this beast looks at you, there are two large yellow eyes that are cat-like in nature. And you hear the flap of wings. When it comes into view a little bit, it is a massive chimera.
Oh no. I'm just going to like stumble back a bit. Okay, no one go near that one.
have we learned our lesson?
No, I want to see what's in the crate now.
Why do you want to do that?
I want to know if it's connected to that. Don't you want to know what we're working with? I did the crate hole.
I step up next to Lucinda. Welcome to my world.
It's so stressful. It's so stressful. We need to like have brunch every once in a while or something to decompress from these two, I swear.
As Tina goes over to one of the crates, and since it's like, I'm assuming peering into the crate with the thing is darker, I'll just like have one of my fingers come up with like a candlelight flame on another hole to kind of light it up.
See, now you're a good friend. You've got my back.
All right, so you're looking into the smaller one.
Mm-hmm.
So the smaller one has like a very, very live and moving plant that looks very much like a Venus flytrap. It's kind of just slithering around and just like snapping at the air.
Hey, Nora, this one's a plant.
Well, now we both gonna get poked in our eye, and I come get right next to you.
I'm just imagining like there's like 3 holes, and it's like Tina's on one. I've got the fire coming into the light on the other. Like I'm not looking into it. I just provide the little spotlight, and then you've got Nora.
I just want everyone to know that I find this plant absolutely darling, and I am absolutely sticking my finger in trying to get its attention. It's fine. I've been bitten by much bigger plants than this. It's fine. It's a little nibble. Hi. Hi, baby.
We're the ones with the survival instinct. We're the ones with the survival instinct, aren't we? Oh god.
Plants love me. I love plants.
Can you roll me, Nora? Let's do an intuition roll for knowledge.
All right. It's a 9.
So you know that this plant is called Felices mori, which is called Lucky Death. It can be refined into one of the most deadly poisons on the planet.
I'm just not gonna let him nibble my finger. I just want to get its attention. I want it to come over here. I got it. That's how I got it into the light enough that I could be like, oh, yeah, don't let him bite you. Yes. Oh,
What
no.
is it, Nora?
Oh, him's a little murder machine.
Why are you cooing at it?
Well, you can't see him. He's precious. He's really cute. But also, he can be refined. And I like put my hand over the hole like you can't hear me. It can't hear me anyway. It doesn't have ears. It can be refined into the living death poison. So, yes, we're not going to let him bite us. We're not going to let him bite us.
As this is happening, I just douse the little finger flame and step back.
Lucinda's gonna grab the back of Tina's shirt and just be like, no.
Ooh. Okay.
No. Sure. If you ever want me to kiss you again, you'll stay away from that plant.
Okay, I'm away from the plant.
I'm like, so it's just my guess, but between the fertilizer and this little guy and that snarling, stinking Camaro over in the corner, it looks like what we have is a factory that could pump out enough high grade, murderously lethal poisons of a variety of types. You can do so much with these. You can aerosolize them. You can put them in water. You can, I'm not saying I'm a terrorist. I'm just saying you have to know what you can do with something so that you can not do it. You have to know.
You seem very impressed.
I am, because whoever's getting ready to do this is getting ready to do something terrible on a scale I can't plan for, and I can plan for a lot. Where the hell is Serafina?
Can Lucinda try to reach out and see if she can feel Sarah, like what Sarah's feeling?
Yeah.
She better not be feeling frustrated. She missed the bus.
Sarah is nervous and anxious about this entire operation. She is semi-close by. If you have like a small directional like pull to where you're feeling stuff, it is like directly above you, like very high above you.
All right, well, she's here. I know. It's great, isn't it? She's not feeling too hot about this, though.
Well, that's not good.
Like, oh no, she found something even more awful than this, somehow not good. Or, oh no, she's been caught on deck, not good. Can you can you be more specific? Should we be hiding
I
better?
barely know my own emotions, okay? Give me a second.
Valid point. Yes, it is. It's a valid point. She's still great. He's just so cute. He's just so mad. Punky's getting a little bit jealous.
Can I try to specify what kind of nervous is it? Is it like a nervous like my dad's like evil, or is it like nervous like
I'm trusting a bunch of children to save the world?
nervous, oh, I found something really awful. Nervous, oh, I've been caught.
It seems like she is very nervous on your behalf. She doesn't want things to happen to you, and she's having like a time to think about everything that is currently happening and everything that you're swept up in, and like just how unfair it is that you're part of this. But at the same time, like, there's the insecurity that the headmaster has placed the trust on all of you specifically because of who you are as people, what your talent, where your talents lie, and the pressure to like save a kingdom, like deal with family trauma in the weirdest way. So there's a lot of mixed up emotions, but more than anything, she fears for your safety.
She's got a lot going on. And
I think we all have a lot going on.
yeah, but she also is like, you know, it's a lot. And also we're here, and she feels kind of bad that we're here. Not like if she doesn't want us, as in, yeah, see, Nut gets it. Like, it's a lot.
I'm sorry, I've never had a pet. I don't quite understand what Nut is getting at.
I think Nut, because Nut is a therapy cat, I think Nut is picking up on some really intense fear, anxiety. It's just a lot going on right now. Yeah, see?
I've never had a pet. I don't see.
Here you go. This is still my cat. Hold a cat. You'll understand after a while. She's very intuitive about emotions.
Abby seems very awkward in holding the cat, but is trying her best.
That's hilarious. Nora's gonna look over at Abby awkwardly holding the cat and be like, you know, that tomato offer is open-ended. If you, I'm pretty sure I could make it furry if you're into that.
Would it be like moss?
Aren't there already fuzzy fruits? A coconut.
Like peaches?
That makes more sense. Although coconuts are more durable.
But I'm pretty sure I could do it. It's just a matter of taking the right kind of influence from the right animal and then the right plant and
You can have a coconut. I have a hazelnut.
You could. I had a wonderfully terrible idea. I really just hope they're making poisons and bombs, because it just occurred to me that if I am doing things like this, and I'm holding Pumpkin and offering to make fuzzy tomatoes, what could they do with these? And I point at the Chimera and the slithering, man-eating poisonous thing. I'm like, wow, I've never hoped for bombs before.
It is a good question.
Is anyone concerned that they're headed towards the school with this stuff? What's so important about the school?
It's not just the school that I'm concerned about. We know that this Destrius has got some of the old king who was trying to assassinate the queen for power. Do we think that that could have escalated in whatever time and manifestations have changed, and instead of just, taking the crown, taking the entire realm?
That's what I would do. I mean, not me, but if I was a villain, like, why go big when you can go very big?
The question here, if the stuff we found in that warehouse was like making people zombies, like servant zombies, half asleep people, maybe? Is this stuff towards that similar end, or is this murder stuff? Because if you can make people into subservient zombies, why would you also then murder them?
Well, we did have the golems loading us up.
And some people might be too powerful to turn into zombies.
I would do it in the other order. Again, I'm not a bad guy, but if I was, I would do it in the other order. You take out who you're most afraid of very fast with utmost brutal precision. And then anyone who might feel brave, might want to do retribution, those you pacify.
Nora, you keep saying you're not a villain, but you'd make a really good villain, and I just hope that you remember that we're friends and that I'm not on your hit list.
Nora, I'm joining your cult. You've convinced me. I'm joining.
Cult of Nora.
Well, why don't we get up to Serafina and if she's nervous, check to make sure that things are okay.
Can I try to sense if there's anybody else there?
Around you?
I don't like the way that was asked.
Around you?
The smirk you gave.
As you're having
I'm
this
the
conversation,
GM. I recognize that.
as you're having
I
this
recognize
conversation, there's a voice that comes like from somewhere at the back of the hold, and and it says, or these materials can be of private use. It seems we've found a little bit of contraband.
Immediately,
Slow motion turn around.
Immediately, I want to, if I can do this simultaneously, hand a light and the fires of my transformation start. And as the transformation is finishing out, I release a scintillating spark to clear the darkness.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now, it does
Abby
also do
transforms.
damage.
I will too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Lucinda immediately puts her cap behind her and starts transforming.
So, my scintillating spark, it does do damage, but that looks like that was an 8 if it hits anything. But the main thing that I'm doing here is getting the light of the area to of the different flames to burst away the shadows.
Okay. Do you look before you shoot?
I step so that way I can be in front of my friends. But no, otherwise I'm just going.
You shoot and your shot lights up, right? All at once.
All at once.
Okay. You turn around and you shoot in the direction of the voice. The place lights up. Again, not very bright, dim enough, but it lights up as your flame travels through the air and lands right next to what appears to be a very handsome individual dressed in ragged clothing, chained to the wall. And they just kind of duck sideways, and it's like, oh, that's definitely one way to greet someone.
Look, I won't apologize. It's already happened. But we're, you see, not supposed to be here, it seems. Can't be too cautious.
You can't be too cautious.
Why are you chained up?
Why are you sneaking on my ship?
Alice,
It's
it's
your
your ship. You're chained up.
Yes, it's my ship. I'm chained up. Yes.
There was a mutiny?
I wouldn't call it a mutiny. Sure.
What would you call it?
A hostile takeover, to be quite honest.
Sounds like a mutiny.
Wait. No, the technical definition is going to come down to, was it your crew or a different crew?
It was not my crew.
Then it wasn't a mutiny. The man's
I'm so
correct.
glad we're being specific right now.
So,
Also, who are you? What's your name? Like, I feel like we should probably get that out of the way.
Yes. And now that you look at him, or look at them, I should say, they're in a raggedy shirt, kind of like chest out, long white hair that's just kind of all over the place and frizzled. They're dirty. You could tell they've been chained up here for quite a bit. There's food scraps around them, and they introduce themselves. Yes, I'm the captain of the ship. My name is Lindgren Hawkeye. Now, what would you be doing on the Lagrandia? Are you working for Lilith?
No, quite the opposite.
Well, it's not on this ship, is she?
Lilith is not on this ship.
Is your crew on this ship?
Technically speaking, yes.
Is your crew alive and free on this ship?
The answer is no.
Okay, is your crew alive on this ship?
The answer is no.
Guessing your crew made the golems.
Is your crew dead on this ship?
It was a hostile takeover, as I said earlier.
So
Are
why
there dead bodies on this ship?
Oh my gosh.
Because this ship is pact bound to me.
Oh.
If we free you, can you help us?
Yes.
I
If
will
we
look
free
at
you.
everyone else.
Will you help us? Because you can, but will you?
What's in it for me?
You get
Freedom.
your
Being unchained.
What's
Getting
in it
your
for me?
ship back.
you get your ship back.
I have my ship. I'll always have my ship until I don't.
Nora has wandered a little bit closer, and she's kind of poking through things, and she's like, "You can keep 2/3 of the animal cargo. We'll pretend like we never even saw it. You keep none of the plant cargo."
That's a fine consideration, but I have a better deal. Why don't we go out for dinner?
All right, but then you only keep 1/4 of the animal cargo and none of the plant cargo.
Sounds like a deal.
Look, he's exactly like Nora likes him. Dirty and distracted.
Dirty and
Arnica, I love
distracted.
you so much.
What a combo.
D&D, dirty and distracted.
No,
Revelations
that sounds like-
about characters tonight.
That's the title of the next OnlyFans stream.
He's the token straight.
Then do we want to free him?
I think Nora does.
Yeah,
Unless...
I
know where
mean,
Nora's
I'm
voting.
voting twice. Punky agrees with me. Punky does not agree with me. Punky is snarling at his boob. Just so everyone's aware. Punky
I,
agrees.
well,
Can I try to read this guy first?
Yeah. Roll me intuition.
Oh, darn. Are emotions not aura? Damn it. I really should have put more in intuition.
You can use an aura roll here for this intuition roll. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That didn't matter. That was a 7.
7. Okay.
Switch out my dice generator.
They're pretty honest. They're just, it's hard to tell if they're bluffing or just being dishonest, or if that's just the way they are. They have a very specific charismatic style, and it's just, they could either like have the shittiest poker hand and be like completely fine, or just have like the shittiest poker hand and also just be a shitty poker player. And you just don't know. It's somewhere in between.
This is giving Killian Jones from Once Upon a Time. They might just be a dick. Like, this just might be them.
well,
If they're willing to help, I can put up with a bad attitude.
yeah.
And if not, we'll just take care of them.
I will. I'll reach my hand out and I will speed up time around the chains to age them to the point that they just crumble.
Okay. having crumble, they get up and like they rub their wrists a bit and kind of stretch. It's like, oh, I've been cooped up there for too long. Captain Hawkeye, it's nice to meet you. And they hold a hand out. Just in the air, at nobody in particular.
Nora, I think, is the closest one at this time.
Just kind of, I'm Nora. I'm Nora Glenn.
Nora Glenn, nice to
I
meet
like
you.
expensive food.
I know just a spot.
I'm feeling a little better about us now. Like we're turning to Tia.
There is.
Tina's just gonna slip her hand into yours and just be like, "Yeah, I don't. Yeah."
There is a chef that everyone has been raving for lately. Well, since the time I got locked up, but long lines, very exclusive based on what I could tell. But I do have, an open reservation. They're a duo, actually.
One of them's not
Yeah.
an otter, are they?
Yes, they are the otter pair. Yes, it's.
I can
think
take
it's
Nora
Chef Otto and
anytime. You got to do
Callahan.
better.
We literally have already taken Nora.
Like twice.
You got to do better than that. We care about our girl here.
Yeah.
This really is something I think we can settle after our mission, though.
This is part of the negotiation.
We could all still die tonight.
We're not going to die tonight, Lil.
Again, when you say tonight, that leaves room for tomorrow.
Everybody dies.
We don't know that yet. You might be able to bring them back.
We're not
Wait, are we in a time loop? Is this deja vu?
not going to let any of you die.
What about you? 'Cause
We're not gonna let you
Yeah.
die.
Then we're good. Because if I'm not letting you die and you don't let me die, then we're all covered.
Great, we'll go with it. We'll go with it.
that works.
The math checks out. Wait, you're telling me that you've eaten at the Sugared Panda?
Yeah, I go almost like at least once a week. Sometimes, I miss it if I'm binging out, but
Oh, my apologies. I wasn't aware that I was in the presence of royalty. Well,
yeah,
Captain
and our men
Hawkeye at your service.
Yeah, we ate
Yeah,
with
and
the
we're
queen last night. Do better.
really close with Princess Seraphina. Not that she wanted you to know that.
Or call her princess.
Yeah.
Sarah's mom's a hoot, but until then, let's get you. Well, you can stay dressed like you are, but let's at least get you armed.
Do we have arms to offer this man? Just
I'm sure he has them somewhere. It's his ship. He has to know where their weapons are. We're just gonna.
How do we get up from here?
Okay, so we go through the underbelly here, through the hold. We'll go up to the first section of lower levels. We can make our way around. I kind of know the situation. I can maybe get us there. I'm not going to say that we're not going to run into resistance. The pretty heavily armed ship, but we can make our way to the captain's quarters and we can commandeer this ship if you lend me your help. Stop by the armory first.
aye, aye, Captain.
As long as you don't mind a bit of scorch marks.
That's fine. The LaGrandia is a special ship.
Oh, that's good.
So are we rolling stealth rolls like as we move?
Oh,
So Hawkeye will start leading the way, and as you guys are starting to make your way up past the general hold area, they're whispering the entire time, and so you know that the LaGrandia turns invisible.
Ooh. Does she? I love a vehicle
explains.
with all the tricks.
She likes plants.
She's made from the special trees that grow in the shade.
Oh. Now that is actually interesting. And so now he's still interesting, but he's slightly less interesting than reaching out to touch the side of the ship to see if I can get just try to get an impression, get the feel of the wood. It grew in the shade. That's wild.
It feels foreign and very reversed. Let's say if life goes clockwise, then you feel the wood emanating counterclockwise.
Liliana, come here. Can you touch this? Can you feel that? Touch this.
Do I? Okay. I will reach out and hesitantly touch it.
In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't leave as much of an impression to you because it is still confined to the same linear timeline that you are in. But you could tell that the origin point is in reverse to what you've always known things to be around you.
It's like it grew in backwards.
Yeah. That is. It's definitely from our time, but it's weird. That's a mystery for after this, though.
All right, I reluctantly let go of the thing because it doesn't feel great, but it feels cool. If you've ever accidentally completed the circuit on a very low voltage anything, that minute where it takes you like a second where you're like, what am I feeling? That is weird. I'm electrocuting myself, and you move. It's like that. It's like, what am I? Oh, let me stop touching that. That was neat. And that's
Is this something you felt?
Yes.
Like regularly?
No, but like more than once. So I had a laptop that had a real bad charger. And if I set it against me wrong, there was a small tear in the insulation and it would make just enough contact. I'd be like, what is that? What is happening? What the hell am I feeling in my leg? Oh, I'm getting electrocuted. Hold on. And
Remind me to send you a picture of what my current laptop looks like so you can see how I'm constantly being electrocuted.
See, you get it.
Yeah, I get it. I was just worried that you have to.
So, yeah, Nora pulls her hand back from the ship and kind of goes, all right, so let's do this armory thing.
I step back over and am clinging very close to Abby's arm as we sneak through here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hawkeye opens a door, leads you over to the second story, and here you start seeing guards kind of patrolling the area. There's a number of them. But before we stealth deeper, we're going to go ahead and take another 15-minute break here. Everyone, make sure to eat, hydrate, stretch, take your meds. We're going to be back in about 15 minutes. Once again, we're using the Valor system, which is an amazing system. Check it out. The link's there in our chat. And we'll see you lovely folks for the finale of this episode in 15. See you soon. Hi everyone, we're back. Hope you had a good break. So here we are, opening the door to the next compartment up from where you are in the ship. There are a number of guards walking here and there, kind of making their rounds. Here's where everyone is going to be rolling stealth. Now, I would like you to think about, so I'm going to give you the choice here. Think about your character and how they exert themselves or how they present themselves in a public space. Are you stealthing because you are careful with your movements and you're reducing sound and you're trying to become inconspicuous? Or are you trying to diminish your power so that you're indetectable?
Well, as someone who is currently transformed, I think I'm going to go for trying to make sure that my self is kind of contained and I'm not really broadcasting too much.
So for that, roll me aura. If you are trying to blend in, then roll me dexterity.
I think I'm going with aura as well. Is this against a meter by any chance?
This would be a flat roll.
Okay.
I'm also going aura because I feel like that's just generally how Lucinda walks through the world.
Speaking of
God, can I
meters.
switch out my D10 on my generator?
Yeah, I went aura too.
Okay. You make it past the first series of cards. You very quietly and precisely mask your power levels. You use the shadows to your advantage. You almost slipped up here and there, but overall, the entire group leads together past all of the guards to the next floor up. In this floor, Hawkeye is going to lead you to the right here, and they are going to show you where like the secret armory is. It's right this way. Yes, not agrees.
So sad.
Here we go. Here is the armory. One quick second, and they place their palm upon the door. You see a magical sigil appear. The door opens, and inside the armory are various weapons, armors. There are treasures in here. So, welcome to the captain's quarters. My personal space here. I come down here to think sometimes. It helps me keep a level head to know the treasures I've collected in a lifetime.
Haven't you been chained up for like a while? When was the last time you were in here?
Well, I come in here in my mind palace, of course.
Okay.
Kind of stepping back away so that way it's just with the rest of the team. I know that we agreed to let him out, but I'm starting to worry if being chained up for a while has kind of affected. I understand Mind Palace as a concept, but just putting out, maybe the guy's crazy.
Possibly, but they have information that could be useful.
Yeah,
I know this ship at least.
Just something to keep in mind about them.
I mean, are any of us really sane?
Wait.
I did land a keeper.
So the armory.
So the armory, welcome. Let me show you around, give you a little tour. Here, this is an eternal rose, and they hand it over to you, Nora. This will never wither, and wherever you plant it, regardless of the soil being fertile or not, it will still grow an entire bush over the course of a lifetime.
All right.
We're never getting Nora back.
You are not.
Nice.
Nora's gonna run away. She's not gonna graduate. She's gonna get married on an air pirate ship. Bye. She sticks it. She braids it up carefully in her hair, just so that nothing happens to it. Also, it just looks so good right there against all the colors.
Suits you well. This is one of the hourglasses of the ancients. It's a fancy name. It stops time. Of course, there's a cost. One I'm not willing to pay, so it sits here as an heirloom. Pretty.
What is the cost, if you don't mind my curiosity?
Now, this is speculation. I don't know off the bat. But from what I have gathered, and I'm very careful with my instruments, a large portion of your life uses your life force to trigger a spontaneous event to stop the stream of time for an indefinite amount.
Stopping time is a bad idea.
I agree. That's why it's here at my ship. Lastly, this little thing I picked up a number of years ago. It fell into my lap, actually, during one of my escapades before I was involved in this entire business. I don't know what to call it. What you would look at is a large half pearl. It's the pearl, but it's kind of cut in half. The pearl itself is embellished in a series of different alloys and metals that all like bend around, creating almost an Ouroboros around it. And if you look at it from the back, you see like just darkness, like actual visual darkness. And if you look at it from the front, staring into the pearl is like staring into a disjointed like TV just popping off random channels sporadically. It is looking through a window of time that is constantly in flux. I call this the echo, actually. I'm not sure what it does, but occasionally it talks.
Like a parrot.
No, it's a simple word. I hear the occasional whisper. It sounds like there's like a voice just trapped in an endless cycle.
What's this voice sound like?
I don't know, actually. It's like a bit feminine, I could say.
I just squeeze Liliana's hand.
Would you mind if I took a look at it?
Sure. You got me free. I'll owe you this much.
I will take it and look into it.
Can you roll me guts?
Guts?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. I'm actually surprisingly good. Gut resolve?
Yeah.
Or, okay. Surprisingly good at resolve. That's a 13.
Hey Abby,
Yeah.
you've seen Lily phase in and out of time, right? When
Yeah.
especially when Lily has faded and it hasn't been controlled or planned.
Okay.
Her body starts to phase in and out. Lily, you have no idea this is happening. You are so enraptured in this moment that you don't feel the grasp and tie to the present time and place to really matter right now. But as soon as you touch it, the voice reverberates in your head. Liliana! Liliana! And it just repeats over and over and over.
Is it Fern's voice?
Yes.
She just grips it tightly. Can I tell what kind of magic this is? Fairly well studied in time magic. Is this a window looking at something? Could this be where she's trapped? Do I have any idea how this might work?
Yeah, let's roll an aura roll for this.
Aura?
Yeah.
Okay. 11.
Okay. I'm gonna whisper what you find here. It's pretty important. But
Oh great.
it's something that only you notice at the time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gripping this tightly. I think probably in both hands, just staring down at it. I think completely oblivious to everything else.
The rest of us still don't know about Fern, right? The rest of the characters.
No.
If you knew me during first year, I'm sure it was talked about in school. A student disappeared.
I think during all this, if Liliana is phasing, there are moments where Abby's hand would go through and there is a look of concern and worry that she's trying to contain and just staying close, trying not to panic.
I think Lucinda can tell that Abby is panicking. Can Lucinda try to like use magic to calm Abby?
Yes, absolutely.
Do I have to roll for that, or
You know, normally this is something that you really have to concentrate and feel out. Um, but this comes really natural, almost eagerly.
so for Abby, it would just feel like there's like a really warm hug and like something's wrapping around your arm that's holding out for Liliana, trying to like steady you as you steady her.
There's the ease of tension by the magical means, and you see where there's the deep breath. But Abby doesn't look back. Her attention is only on Liliana in this moment.
After another few moments, I think Liliana snaps back to this timeline. Almost creating a rebound, a ripple. But she snaps back and looks up at the captain. I need to keep this.
Hawkeye starts to say some bullshit thing that they're gonna say, but takes a moment to look at your conviction in your stare, and says, "Okay,
Thank you."
means a lot to you, huh?"
It does.
Well, may you find it serve a suitable purpose.
Oh, wherever you found it. Thank you, I guess.
I don't know what this means to you, but you're welcome all the same.
And Liliana, I think, just stands there holding it, continuing to just kind of stare at it, making more of an effort to keep herself anchored here in this timeline, but is very much distracted by this.
Lil, you all right?
Yeah, something to worry about in a bit when we're not in so much danger.
Okay, just you started phasing.
Did I?
Yeah. Just to keep it, if we're getting in trouble soon, I want you to know.
I'm okay. I think I was just a little surprised by this, that's all.
Okay. Just stays close, doesn't really move.
Hawkeye reaches into the back of the armory and pulls out what looks like it's like a metal rod. Not very thick, just about 10, 12 inches. This is what I'm looking for. Hello, Alexander. And the metal rod kind of warps around Hawkeye's arm and starts to stretch out wide and long and becomes this very sharp cutlass. And then at the hilt, there's an eye that kind of just pops up. Good to be back, buddy. All right, so what do we say we commandeer the ship?
If we're leaving the armory, Tina's not going to leave that hourglass here if no one else has grabbed it.
Tina, that's
Tina's going to
not-
do this as subtly as possible,
Okay.
like as stealthily as possible. I can roll for that if you want.
Yes, please.
Yeah, roll witch.
What would you like to use? Dexterity?
Yeah, dexterity.
Okay.
I think you would notice that Liliana gives a wide berth around this hourglass when she walks past it again.
Could I roll an intuition to spot Tina trying to take this?
Sure.
Oh no.
Abby doesn't say anything, but she does make Tina aware that she spotted.
Tina's going to give you a wink.
There isn't really much right now on Abby's face besides the calm that had been put there by Lucinda. There's still worry that's underneath it. But if Abby had any sort of thoughts, they kind of went out the window as soon as everything with Liliana phasing came up.
Okay. You all exit the armory. You start making your way through the ship again. Could you all roll me a stealth check?
What's a stealth check use again? Oh, is it the one that's aura or?
Mhm.
Okay. I switched out my generator. That's a 15.
Oh, you did so good.
Ooh, that's not good.
There it is.
Oh boy.
My offense, my dress is white. It wasn't my fault.
As you're making your way through the ship here, there is a guard that catches your presence and says, "Hey, what are you doing here?"
Does he see all of us, or does he just see those of us who failed?
All of you, the entire party.
Okay.
Hey, we are on job. What are you doing here?
I'm guarding the ship, obviously, for Madam Lilith.
Well, you are doing a bad job. We are working for Madam Lilith. You shouldn't be guarding against us.
Yeah, you have the traitor with you. Why is he with you?
Because Madam Lilith wants to question the traitor.
Go ahead and roll me resolve.
Okay.
It's gonna be an opposed. It's gonna be an opposed roll.
Come on, Dace. Oh no.
It's an opposed roll. He could get to the 5. We've had it happen before.
Hazel's rooting for you, Katie.
Thank you, Hazel. I appreciate you.
Wow. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Did I call it?
No way.
Did you do that?
And did I manifest on Girls Run These World?
Oh, okay. Be careful with that bastard, okay? And if you need help, just call.
We'll call. But not you, because you're doing a bad job.
Wait, one moment. I'm new. What should we be worried about with the traitor?
Well, he should only be escorted to the bridge to make the ship invisible. It's about time.
Okay, cool.
We'll drag him by on the way down. Come on, you. And I just grab him by the arm. And we start marching him down the way. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, are you kidding me?
I'll like kick his heels, like, move.
You guys all proceed forward, barely. And there's a series of doors that are lined up left and right. There are individual cabins. This is where you're at right now in the ship. Could everyone roll me
No.
what is a perception? Is intuition?
Yeah,
an intuition roll.
Okay, that one wasn't as good.
Mine wasn't either.
Mine's been worse.
That would be a 7.
A 7? Okay. Nora, Lily, you two are the ones that notice. One of the cabins has a door slightly ajar, and there is a coming from within the cabin.
Okay. So gonna pull to a sharp stop. Just kind of hold my hand up. Still got the captain by the arm in case anyone walks by, and not at all because it's nice, solid arms. I'm like, whose room is this? What is this room?
Oh, this is the staff's quarters. Why did you notice something?
You don't hear that? Lil, do you hear that?
I do. I don't know if it's someone tied up or someone trying to warn us.
Want to find out?
Can I try to sense before somebody just barges in?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Roll me aura.
Okay. That is an 11.
Okay. There is someone that is pleading for your attention. Desperation is at the forefront.
And it's not Seraphina?
It's not Seraphina.
That somebody needs us in there.
Then we should help.
All right. Let go of the captain. Crack my knuckles. Like, you ready? Little eyeball guy up. Let's go. And I'm gonna swing the door open real quick, just in case there's anyone behind it that can catch a whole door to the face.
The door swings wide open, and inside there is a darkened room. There's no one there except a body. It's not very lit here, but there is someone that is tied up and gagged, kind of just sitting in the corner, kind of like hopping up.
I'm going to send Pumpkin over to take a look, just to check for traps. I'm gonna pick up and I'll be like, okay, go make sure there's nothing over there. Because I love him so much, but also if somebody's gonna catch a trap to the face, bless his heart, it's gonna be the gourd. I'll save his seeds, replant him again. Let's go. I just kind of bowl him over. He rolls across the wooden floor for a few minutes, stops rolling, stands up, shakes his little gourd body, and trots over and investigates. Looking up at this bound body. So, what does my pumpkin see?
So there are no traps to find at a glance. Everything is pretty good. The person that is tied up has been here for a little bit of time, not too long, but what Pumpkin sees is someone wearing the same uniform of the school that you all belong to.
Okay. And Punky does recognize our school uniform. He's born, grown on the grounds. In fact, it's weird to Punky anytime he sees humans not in a school uniform. So he's quite excited. He frolics over. He comes over at a fat little waddle. He's doing a little side to side, doing a dance that is completely impossible to interpret. But it's good enough. I can tell that he sees someone, even if he doesn't know them, he recognizes something. That's his "oh look, a student" dance. He wants everyone to pick him up, and he only wants to eat half of them. It'll be fine. So I'm like, he didn't trip anything. Nothing creaked, nothing caught on fire. There's a trap. It's not an obvious one. But he's acting like he knows somebody over there. And everyone he knows is here. So, are we missing any students? It's kind of out the corner of my eye. Look at Liliana. It's kind of one of those. awkward moment. No, it's fine. Let's go. Yeah, I'm gonna go check on. Yeah.
Yeah, Lucinda's definitely, like, as you're talking already, starting to walk over. Once you said that Pumpkin said it was good, Lucinda's definitely walking over.
Okay. So upon further inspection, the person that you see is Abigail, a girl that's in the same year as you.
It's another Abby. I don't like it.
There can only be one. Does she have like tape on her mouth or something? Can I like get it so she can talk?
Yeah, it's just a piece of cloth just tied around like a blindfold but over the mouth. And as soon as you do, she's like, please. What are you doing here? Please help me.
What are we doing here? What are
Calm
you
down, where
doing?
nobody knows. Nora, don't yell. We're stealth. Abigail, not Abby. Oh, this is getting confusing. Abigail, calm down. I know it's hard. Need you to. Okay. How did you get here? We came with Seraphina. How did you get here?
I was just walking around the woods at school, and I saw something weird, so I came to check. But they took my magic.
Ooh. Take like a half step back.
Nora.
I mean.
Okay, you're okay. Hey, it's okay. I'm going to like untie you, but I need you to not make a lot of noise or run away or anything like that. Can you promise me that?
And she just nods vigorously.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's also gonna try to do that the calming, like she tried with Abby earlier, to try to get her to like because we cannot have her panicking and running around the street. So she's like, okay, and she's gonna untie her. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
What do you mean they took your magic?
I don't know what they did. They poured some stuff on me, and I don't have my powers anymore.
Nora, did any of those plants?
Yo, I said that it could make some of the worst poisons you could imagine.
But taking someone's magic.
I mean,
We need to find Seraphina.
Yeah.
All right. Abigail, you stay in the middle.
Stay near me. I won't go into the crazy battle this time. I'll stay back with the shields.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick up Pumpkin, hand it to her, be like, in case of emergency, throw him and run.
Okay. I can do that. And as she's saying I can do that, Hawkeye comes into the room and says, you know what I was just thinking? It's kind of weird that they haven't made me turn the ship invisible. We've been cruising over the air for quite some time. And as soon as he says time, there is an explosion that rocks this ship as hard as you've ever felt. All of you just kind of lose your balance. The entire ship starts to turn sideways as everything starts to fly down. And you hear there's a series of yells and, what's wrong? Like, what is going on with the ship? And there's a brief moment of confusion before the second explosion hits. And that's where we're going
Don't
to
say
leave
it.
off for tonight.
I knew it. As soon as there was the first explosion, I knew it.
Oh, these cliffhangers!
Like, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. Then you gotta go say it. See, Hazel's upset too.
So that's where we're leaving off for tonight. What a blast.
Quite
It's-
literally.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Good pun. Unintentional. We're going to be
Unintentional?
back next Friday for the final episode of this series where everything culminates. I'm going to try to tie up every loose thread here that we've encountered so far. It's all going to come together. Yeah, it's going to come together in one big spectacular episode. Please, please, please. I hope you don't miss it. I hope you're here. But once again, if you can support the channel, we would appreciate that. Everything, all your support goes to helping more and more stories like this come being told, and just, you know, it's incredible. Like the people that we have on this channel are just phenomenal, and I'm eternally grateful. But once again, I am Paptimus Prime, or Jonathan. I haven't been posting a lot because I've just been incredibly busy currently, but you can find me at Twitter at JM I'm a GM, a game designer, a voice actor, and a writer, and I kind of just, you know, wear many hats. Currently working on music too, as I have a chance. Also working on a big NDA project, which I can't talk about, unfortunately, but it's very, very cool. And when it comes out, I think everyone's gonna, like, you know, lose their shit, but it's gonna be really great. But yeah, that's me. Faye, would you like to go?
Yeah, I'll go. Hi, I'm Faye. I am having a lot of fun here. But if you want to see me have fun elsewhere, that's going to be on Will to Witch RP. You can find out all about us at our website, willtowitch.com. I am a GM over there. I run the company. It's a lot of fun that I do. You can find me elsewhere on the internet at Faye Wild Witch or Faye Wild Witchling. That's typically me.
Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie, she, her. I do lots of writing and TTRPG things. You can find me on Twitter at the Katie McLean, or online at katie-mclean.ca. I'll see you around the internet. Bye.
Arnica.
Hi, I'm Arnica, new director of operations here at Girls Run These Worlds. Right now, this is the only show I'm doing, but if you would like to do a show, go ahead and reach out to us on our creator app. I'd love to get you scheduled in, get you doing this exact same thing. We've got space and you've got stories to tell. Let us help you do it.
Nox.
Hi y'all, Nox. You can find me on social media at Noxternal_7. I swear I'm gonna start posting on TikTok, I promise. Where can you find me? I have things. Oh yeah. So Wednesday you can catch me over on the initiative order for Inferno. I am Alma the Pagan. We are about to have a giant fight with, if I'm remembering correctly, it's been a month. King Midas? King Minos, I think. We're gonna have a fight. It's gonna be cool. We're in hell. It's a blast. And then Thursdays, you can catch me here again on Girls Run These Worlds, because we have Regency Remixed, which is it's Faye version Regency Remixed. It's really fun. My character is Dulcinea Cervantes, and she's this very like meddlesome, like she has a mentee that she's just doting on so she doesn't have to deal with her own problems. She's fine. Everything is fine. Don't worry about it. Before Regency Remixed, you can catch me. I forgot which channel we're going to be on. This is why you should be following me on Twitter, because I'm actually going to say stuff. I'm going to be in Dishonored, a Dishonored one-shot for... I just remember that our GM is Nev from the Never Squid. So follow me on social media. It's easier to find out. Also, my cat meowed a lot. She says hi.
And Anna.
Oh, am I the only one left?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was doing producer stuff. I am Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny most places on the internet. I'm a queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG streamer and podcaster. You can find me on Twitter and most other social media at Archival Dust Bun. As far as where to find me, Tuesday nights you can find me over on Ballad of the Seven Dice for Nostradamus Core Phantom Ice. That is our Lancer mini campaign, and it's going strong. We just finished up our first mission against pirates. We're about to do a time jump and have brand new, very fun mechs. This is a great time to jump in if you want to see where that is going. Saturday nights, you can find me over on Lost Caravan with Fatal Ascension, our Fabula Ultima campaign. Fabula Ultima is a JRPG-inspired TTRPG, and I play a time assassin. Similar kind of magic, very different use for it. Lots of fun all around. We have an amazing cast of characters for that. Very soon on Lost Caravan, I'll be playing Locust as well on Wednesday nights. So if you enjoy horror, keep an eye out for that. If you like Lancer, you can find me on Response Team Omnicron, a Lancer actual play podcast. You can find that anywhere you normally get your podcast, and on Twitter at RT Omnicron. Emergent Code, our upcoming queer and trans-led Animon Story podcast, is premiering very, very soon. Less than a week at this point. So give us a follow at any pod to stay up to date with that if you like Digimon or similar monster tamer story that we've been recording, and it's quite a story we have prepared for you. So keep an eye out for that, and keep an eye on my social media as well. I'm in the process of rapidly putting together a Girl by Moonlight podcast that is going to be very dark, very dramatic, and the cast we have lined up for that is spectacular. So keep an eye out for updates on that and other projects that are coming up.
Not me following Girl by Moonlight for the past like 6 years.
I know, I was so excited. And I was like, should I start a podcast? And then less than 24 hours after that, I already had a cast.
Amazing.
I'm like, guess I'm doing this.
I love that. Once again, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support and time. Go check out the Creator app. Please submit your stories. Submit what your ideas to us. We're always looking, for places of experience, really unique and personal and intimate and chaotic stories of all kinds. So please check out the Creator app if you can. We also have a Zine. Check that out as well. The link should be down below. You can get it from the Twitter, I believe. But most importantly, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you to my cast for being amazing members. Honestly, I couldn't have done this game without you, and it's such a wonderful trip. I'm sad that next week is our last episode, but we're gonna go out with a bang.
Season 2.
Literally. We'll find out. Until next time, stay safe, take care of each other, and love yourself. And we'll see you next time.
Night.
Bye.